What is up everyone? Welcome to my channel. My name is Mariah May. I also go by the name The Glamour. I'm a pro wrestler and I love making YouTube videos. And today's video is going to be an updated Q&A. As you can probably tell, I did get a new camera. It's been a while since I've done a Q&A and I thought, why don't we kick off our kind of new channel in a way with an updated Q&A. I know I've been in lockdown for a while, but a lot has happened. Of course, I'm dying to get back into wrestling, but there are a ton of questions here about wrestling and other stuff, so let's jump straight in. The first question is from Big Lad Academy 6, and he asked what my best match was at CPW. I think my best match at CPW was when I beat Amanda Grace and became the #1 contender. Lopez can follow us. Are you a queen because you're a beautiful princess? No, I'm a Khaleesi. Hellcat Perez, and I actually really like this question. I haven't looked at them, this is my first time. If you could have any artist or band perform a theme song for you, who would you choose? So I would have Ariana Grande. I currently use No Tears Left to Cry as my theme, and I love all of her music, all of her songs. I feel like it really suits the glamour. The glamour is all about feeling yourself and being confident in who you are and never suppressing who you are for other people and letting it shine. And I feel like Ariana's music is really fitting for that. I would love to have a little rap on there by Nicki, but I feel like I'm asking for a bit too much right now. The Life and Times of Joe asked what my least favorite movie is. That is such a weird question, but I really like it. I mean, it's weird because I wouldn't really watch my least favorite movie, but I think it would be something like Mamma Mia or Titanic. I think they're really overhyped. I've never really watched them properly because I don't like them. I feel like I'm gonna get hard judged because they're classics. Only Raheem asked, how does it feel to be out cartwheeled? I wouldn't know, it's never happened to me. Only Raheem, what's one message you want everyone that looks up to you to remember? Oh, this is such a good one. I mean, there's a lot of things, but I think my main thing would be to be yourself no matter what. You know, don't ever be afraid to be who you are or try something or do something you want to do because you're scared of what other people might think. Other people will always judge you. They'll always have an opinion. If they're going to, that's life. And it can be fair, you know, people might not like you for fair reasons, but there's always going to be a group of people that will dislike you because that's the kind of people that they are. If you let them dictate your life, you'll never be happy and never pursue what you want to do. So my advice is whatever that dream is you want to do or whatever that thing is you want to try, do it. Don't let anyone stop you. Don't let the fear of what other people think stop you, because 10 times out of 10 there will be a nasty comment, there'll be some negative remarks, there'll be some nastiness, but if you're doing what you love and it makes you happy, then it's all worth it. So don't ever let anyone stop you from doing something you want to do, chasing your dreams, whatever it might be. And don't be afraid to stand alone either. And the Raheem's up again with a third question. I love it. Tag team champs, yes, Gambit and Mariah May for tag team champ. Bad bitch Blair asked, what are your goals for 2021? I have a lot. To be honest, I'm being kind to myself just given that it is lockdown. So with wrestling, obviously my goals from last year I've kind of carried over because, you know, I didn't really get a chance. I was doing really well in March. I was booked every weekend. I was going to wrestle internationally and I was really improving, and that was kind of my goals. And then obviously we went into lockdown, which is completely, you know, out of your hands. This year, I really want to just pick back up where I left off with the momentum that I had. I want to wrestle, I want to get better, I want to wrestle internationally, I want to work on making British wrestling a safer place and a better environment for people, I want to train more. Outside of wrestling, I have some fitness goals I want to achieve, and I can achieve those no matter what happens with lockdowns and when we're allowed back out again. So I can achieve those, so I'm very focused on them. I have some big goals. I would like to become a Twitch partner this year. That's a very big goal of mine. And of course, I'd like to continue to grow my YouTube community because I've been on here for years. I've shared my whole wrestling journey on here. So yeah, I really want to keep growing that and taking you guys on the journey with me. Amara asked, what age did you get into wrestling? I've been a wrestling fan for as long as I can remember. I always watched it growing up with my brothers. I've pretty much watched it all the time ever since. So since I can remember, I guess. TKO Kosenko asked, and I feel like I've said that wrong. TKO, I just call you TKO to be honest. My finisher. Hardest thing to learn in wrestling, physically or business wise? Ooh, gosh, I have to like take myself back now. I know I'm really new to wrestling, but because of lockdown, I feel like it's been a lifetime since I trained. I think the hardest thing physically for a lot of people will be just the shock of wrestling. I don't think there's any form of fitness that really does prepare you for being in the ring and how tough it is, and kind of putting all of the components together, you know, your character work, your movement, telling a story, and the actual wrestling itself. So I think the hardest thing is just the transition from, you know, being a regular fitness person going into wrestling. Is a different level. Obviously you train like an athlete, but of course just taking bumps, hitting the ropes and everything like that is such a shock to the system. So I'd say probably just making that transition. And business wise, I think just figuring out who you are can be tough, and what you want to do and how to get that across can be quite tough, especially because now we're in the age of social media and sometimes it's hard to kind of translate your character onto tech. I know that's something I really struggle with. I love doing YouTube, I love doing Twitch because I'm talking, I love doing promos because I'm talking and it's my character, and then I'm good at social media, but trying to do social media in your character and get that across, especially because fans have different tastes and what they want. And yeah, I think that can be a little bit tough for a lot of people, is like translating a wrestler onto social media, because, you know, when we were growing up and watching wrestling, they didn't do tweets. So, you know, I think that's kind of a little bit tough in terms of business, is just translating that. My advice for that is just really figure out your character back to front and your branding, and at least try to kind of put your branding out there. That's something I'm really tough with, is just always making sure that I've got my brand out there, my nickname, my catchphrase, my look, everything is just constantly out there and repeated on my page so it's recognizable to me. Something I'm definitely still working on, and I think a lot of us wrestlers are kind of adjusting to the fact that, yeah, social media is the new norm. This is Stevie MC. Do you think your love for wrestling has gone up, down, or stayed the same during lockdown? Oh, I'll always love wrestling. You know, I think obviously a lot has happened over lockdown, and lockdown has been extremely long. So there have been points where it's been a little bit difficult to watch for certain reasons, but I'll always love wrestling. Like, it will never leave me. I'll always love it. And I think, if anything, it's actually made me love it a bit more, because I just feel like I'm raring to go constantly, and I know a lot of people will have that because we've all been working so hard. So for me, I just can't wait to get back, to show what I've learned, to keep on learning, to get back to what I was doing. More motivated than ever. I didn't think it was possible, but I am, and yeah, I love it more. I'm just dying to get back into it. Luke asked, am I still your bestie? Yeah, obviously you're still my bestie, and Logan. Daniel Ellis, 1998, asked, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? First time! I mean, Alvin Lynch Flair asked, what are your future plans in the world of professional wrestling? Big hug for you, Mariah May. Oh, thank you so much. My future plans for wrestling, I mean, it's a big question. For the foreseeable future, it's just to keep improving. I really want to pick back up where I left off, keep improving, keep getting that momentum, keep improving for myself, get my name out there so other people know me. I really want to travel internationally. Obviously with COVID, I'm not sure if that's still feasible, but it is something I really wanted to do, so hopefully I could still make that happen when things kind of go back to normal, if they ever do, I don't know. Travel internationally, really improve, and I really want to be a full-time wrestler, so that is kind of my goals. I suppose because of lockdown I accidentally am, but I don't get to wrestle, so it's not going well so far. But yeah, I think to be a full-time wrestler, because it's my passion, it's my dream, so I think to be able to do that every single day and make it a living would be really good. Eduardo asked, who would be your ideal opponent if you had a WWE debut? I'm a fan. Ooh, if I had my WWE debut, there's so many good people to choose from, but storyline wise, I think it would be cool to debut against Mickie James, because she was always one of my favorites growing up, so I think we could tell a really cool story. And the way that Mickie came in with her storyline with being obsessed with Trish, I think there could be a play on that. Yeah, maybe Mickie James. Zed to Wrestling asked, what country would you like to vacation at? Literally anywhere but here. Anywhere that's not here. I don't really want a vacation, to be honest. I've had enough of doing nothing. Even though I've been super busy over lockdown, I still kind of feel trapped. So I feel like if I went on holiday, I would just be like, I'm stagnant, like I just want to move forward. So my ideal vacation would be to go and wrestle somewhere, actually. Matty ID asked, what were you most proud of in 2020? It took all my power not to write something stupid. Good old Matty. Most proud of in 2020, there's a lot of things. I think it would just be, if it was a moment, I would say maybe my match with Monica at All Star, or when I beat Nina Samuels at SWW, because I think there were big step ups for me in my career. So if I had to pick a few moments, I'd pick them. But I think overall, just how I've grown as a person and my resilience and my strength, and how I've really been able to keep pushing forward no matter what happens to me, and been able to really kind of build my brand over lockdown is something I'm really proud of, because I've been able to build my YouTube and my Twitch and all my socials. So that's been something that I think is really cool. Just even though we're in lockdown, I've been able to still move forward and move up. Maybe not in the way I exactly wanted, but I'm still going forward. Gustavo asked, I hope you return to the ring later on this year and possibly wrestle in Dallas. Oh, thank you. I hope I do too. I apologize if I say anyone's names wrong. I'm just reading the username, so I can't see how things are spaced. So I hope I say people's names right. I'm so sorry if I don't. Luisto Black asked, what got you into wrestling, and do I have time to train to be a professional wrestler? So I've been a wrestling fan since I was a little kid, and of course you still have time. It's never too late to start, and if you really work hard and you put time into something, there's nothing you can't achieve. So as long as you go for it and you put everything into it, of course you can. So in a persona asked, when will you play Mario Kart 8 again on Twitch? I finally got it, yay! We play a ton of games on Twitch. I normally take user requests, so if you're not, please join my Discord, it is linked below. And if you're not following me on Twitch, guys, please do so. I play a ton of games with my community, so feel free to join us. I'll play Mario Kart whenever, just drop it in the Discord. I normally take requests and we kind of go from there. I play Mario Kart, Among Us, Animal Crossing, WWE 2K was like really heavily requested, so I played that. So whatever you guys request, we can play, and we can play them together. Moog asked, when are you coming to Canada? Actually, I was meant to wrestle in Canada this year. No, not this year, last year. Oh my god, how is it 2021? When did that happen? I was actually meant to wrestle in Canada at the end of last year, but couldn't obviously happen, so maybe soon if that gets like rearranged. Moog also asked, what made you decide you were going to become a wrestler? So I was always a childhood fan. I was absolutely obsessed. I thought I was going to be WWE champion. That was like my dream. I think everyone kind of thought, you know, oh yeah, it's just like a childhood dream, but I never ever grew out of it. I always loved it. And then going through school, I did a lot of athletics. I did theatre because I always loved performing, and I did enjoy them, but they just didn't give me that like fulfillment. I don't know, I was always looking for more, and I kind of felt like for a time wrestling wasn't really possible. It might not be something I would be able to do because I just had no idea how to start, and we're talking like when I was at school, so oh my god, like 6 years ago. Ew! 6 years ago, when I kind of went into sixth form and we were really thinking about like what we wanted to do, what our career path was, there wasn't a lot of wrestling in the UK. It was hard to find it, you know, and there were really good wrestlers. It was just hard to find and hard to know about. When I said I want to wrestle, everyone was like, what the hell? My mum, however, was like, let's go, and was like looking for schools and couldn't really find any near me. So yeah, it was always something I really wanted to do, and I was trying to figure out other ways to get there. So perhaps through did modeling, like I fell into that. It wasn't something I really wanted to do, but I was good at it, and it really helped me with being in front of a camera, and of course it helps with exposure and just building a brand. So I thought maybe through becoming like really athletic and perhaps getting a tryout in America and smashing it because I'm super athletic, that might get me in and stuff. That was kind of what I was thinking of doing. I had no idea how to do it because obviously I'm from the UK, and like visas and like how do you do that, and that was kind of my goal. Like I was working towards this very uncertain goal, but I knew I was gonna find a way to make it happen. And then when I left school, I actually was able to find a school near me, well, like an hour or so away from me, so near enough. Like I'm very lucky in that sense. And yeah, I started training from there and then became a wrestler. I can't even remember what the question was. I just talk. People talk about wrestling and I'm like, blah, blah, blah. And the last question is from Nikki is Bayella. I love that. What top tips would you give to someone who wants to begin wrestling training? So my top tip would be to really get your fitness up. Do a lot of circuit training if you can. Really get your cardio up. Wrestling training is hard work. It really is. And because you love it, you will push through. But make it easier on yourself and easier on your body, and do that preparation so that when it comes, you can be as prepared as possible. As I said at the start, it will always be a shock to the system. Your body is not used to falling onto a mat. So just try and prepare yourself as much as possible with the fitness stuff. Be really respectful and kind to everyone that you meet, and just really remember why you're doing it. You know, remember why you want this when it gets tough. Remember why you're doing this and what your end goal is throughout your journey. Something I always still do now is just when I think of a promo, just quickly drop record and record my promo, or write down notes about character stuff or gear or storylines or matches or move ideas, anything like that. Just constantly be thinking about it, writing it down. You don't have to have anything too secure when you start out. You're learning, you're growing, you're figuring it out. You don't have to come in with a package, but try to think of little things so that when you get to the point where you're having your matches, it's a little bit easier and you've already got your ideas and it's not such an overwhelming concept. So I definitely recommend trying out promos, writing down character ideas, writing down move ideas, entrance ideas, all that kind of stuff that makes a wrestler, just as you think of it, or spend a few, you know, half an hour a day if you can, just kind of thinking about it. Just have a little think about it and make a note of it so that when you get to that point where you're having a match, you kind of have different components that you can put together to kind of make who you are, because that's how I got to the Glamour. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. If you didn't get a question in, be sure to follow me on Mariah May X on Instagram, and I will do another Q&A soon. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, please do so and turn on those notifications, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.